Let's see what a call for an uprising is up to. They might have just told us what will happen after this year's election. Edge of Wonder, or not Edge of Wonder, a call for an uprising.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
QAnon
capitalism.
believer, COVID denier, all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm not sure if this video will be one-to-one QAnon stuff, but it'll tie in, I'm sure, because they're a big proponent. Tucker White 24 with a bit. So Hannah, are you convinced by the totally not inspired video? No, I'm not. I know, unfortunate.
There's an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. One of the things I do on this channel, in addition to showing signs and symbols, exposing these satanic cabals and everything else, is I try to show you repetition in the news for predictive programming, seed planting, and that really just goes based off seeing and hearing the same narratives or the same potential things that could occur in the future, and then starting to realize, okay, there's possibly seed planting here. Now, that doesn't mean that this is true or going to happen, but
good cover.
I wanted to do a video on it because I've seen it so many times now, and it makes a lot of sense. When I first started my channel, I actually thought Obama was going to figure out a way to stay in for a third term.
Tucker White 94, does this count as spurious symbology as evidence? It's not really symbology. He's claiming there's patterns in news stories. I don't think that's the same thing as symbology.
I didn't see ahead how perfect it was to transition into Trump, okay? To do all this order out of chaos first, because there wouldn't be order out of chaos with Obama in office. Obama's the one who's supposed to bring peace and love, right? And there's a lot of people who believe Obama is the Antichrist.
Stupid people.
And that wouldn't surprise me one bit. But he would have to become ruler again, right? Or president again. And one of the things I've seen with predictive programming recently with Trump is the talk about a third term.
Yeah, Donald Trump is an idiot and a narcissist who continually mentions that he wants to have 3 terms in office, if not more, which, for non-Americans out there, is illegal. You're not allowed to serve more than 2 terms as president.
Trump said it out of his own mouth. Obama has had this rivalry with Trump for so long.
What are you talking about? No, he hasn't. Trump thinks he does. Trump has this hate boner for Obama, but Obama, like, was just a respectable president, if not too centrist. Like, he didn't care about Donald Trump until Donald Trump threw his disgusting old man dick on the political table and said, "Deal with this."
It's like a wrestling, it's like watching pro wrestling, right? They never faced off head to head, but they can't stand each other. They're always jabbing at each other. And then you got Biden running, his buddy, his vice.
Wind Chanter says, "This is your daily reminder that I love you all and you're all valid and worthy."
President who's probably going to lose this election because more chaos and disorder will come with Trump remaining in office. But listen to Trump out of his own mouth hint at it. Obama even discussed how he would win a third term. And then
I don't think Obama did that. Obama wasn't a fascist, so.
Even recently, I believe his name is Michael Cohen, one of these Trump guys, talking about how it's very likely that Trump will try to change the Constitution after the election. And, obviously people who are on the right will love that, thinking that, oh, he can get another term. The liberals ruin the first term. You could listen to it all for yourself, and then we'll talk about it. So take a listen.
In 78 days, we're going to stop the radical left. We're going to win the state of Wisconsin, and we are going to win 4 more years.
Oh, God. Whenever I watch this stuff, I gotta... just to de-stress and hope that things don't... God, if we have 4 more years of this stress, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, God, 538. Please be right. Please be right, 538.
And then after that, we'll go for another 4 years because, you know what, they spied on my campaign. We should get a redo of 4 years.
No. That's not how anything
There's nothing funny about
works.
the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White 94. Imagine thinking that Democrats are leftists, much less liberals. Ooh, Nate Silver. Hey, guys, come on. You don't have to listen to Nate Silver's shitty commentary,
There's
but the
nothing funny
actual
about the
model
tools of
itself has
capitalism.
been pretty good. They were pretty accurate in 2016.
I love my work.
Does Obama get years back for all the filibuster? That's what I'm saying, right? The rules are the rules. We have term limits for a reason. You get 4 years, you get elected again, 4 more years, and that's it. Period.
But under our Constitution, I cannot run again.
Yeah, Obama's making a joke.
There's nothing funny about the
Obama's
tools
making
of
a joke,
capitalism.
and even within the joke, he's saying, I can't run again. Trump is literally like, I'm gonna run again, and I deserve it. Like, because he's a weirdo who doesn't understand civics. Stephen J. Neptune Man with 10 bits. Rome is burning, but the theme song isn't Nero playing the fiddle, it's Steven Crowder singing Kung Flu Fighting. Oh, God. Did he? Of course he did that. Cascadia 93. Nate Silver gets all the wall smilers. Oh, my God. Chill out.
I can't run again.
You thought they were really wrong in 2016, or was it some other site that was really wrong? I mean, they don't say who they think is gonna win. They just give statistical chances and potential models, right? Like, out of all the models, this one was the closest in 2016. Like, no one had it right. But the aggregate of the polls, Nate Silver up to 2016 was saying, like, people need to stop saying Trump can't win because there are all these different paths where he can win, guys. Like, it's very, very possible he'll win, and he was right. So, I'm not saying you have to like Nate Silver. I am saying that his statistical modeling is at least worth taking into consideration when you're looking at, like, polls and stuff for the upcoming election.
I actually think I'm a pretty good president. I think if I ran, I could win. But I can't.
The "but I can't" is the important part in that joke that Trump doesn't get. Yeah, still has a 24% chance of Trump. I think going into election night, 2016, it was closer to like Trump 33, 35 or something. So yeah, it's absolutely possible. I'm just really, really hoping it doesn't happen.
So there's a lot that I'd like to do to keep America moving, but the law is the law. And no one person is above the law, not even the president.
Well, President Obama says he could have done what Hillary Clinton did not, beat Donald Trump in the election and win a third term.
That probably would have been the case if the rules were different, but they're not, right? The entire joke Obama made was about how he can't do that, right? Did you listen to it?
But the president-elect, though, taking to Twitter to answer, basically saying, what? Really? No way. Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Sean in Philbo Hemmer this morning. We are live in America's...
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Hey,
capitalism.
chat. I'm leaving.
Tucker White, 94. How did Obama say that nobody is above the law, not even the president line with a straight face? Oh, God, yeah, I get it. You hate Obama. Daddy Sume with 25 bits.
There's nothing
Daddy's
funny about the
arrived.
tools of
Hello.
capitalism.
And
She has to go back to work, that's why.
I'm Patty Ann Brown in for Martha McCallum. So President Obama granting one of the final interviews of his presidency to a former top
I have to go back
advisor.
to work, so that means I won't be living with Hannah anymore.
David Axelrod. Mr. Obama saying he believes the country supports
President Obama.
his vision of progressive change and that he could have
I'm not
won if
leaving
he had been allowed
right
to run
now.
again. Listen.
I'm leaving. I have to be back
I'm
at
confident
work
that
on Monday.
if I had
so
run
I'm
again
leaving
and
Saturday or
articulated it,
something.
I think I could have mobilized a majority of the American people to rally behind it. I know that in conversations that I've had with
And I'm gonna cry.
people around the country, even some people who disagreed with me,
I'm
they
gonna
would
go
say
cry now.
the vision, the direction
There's nothing
that you
funny
point
about the
towards
tools
is the
of
right one.
capitalism.
Cascadian 93, remember when FDR was so good at his job that they invented term limits for presidents after he died because his replacement was a Republican? But the good ones from before the 60s flip.
And Peter Ducey is covering the president-elect Trump, who is at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. So, Peter, how is Mr. Trump responding to the president's pretty boastful claims this morning?
If Obama had somehow, let's imagine for a second that instead of going up against Hillary, Trump had faced Obama, let's say the second time. This is Obama's re-election campaign. Obama probably would have won. Like, you don't have to like everything Obama's done. Like, I get it. He's a left-center guy. But, like, he was a guy that did rally a lot of people. A lot of people like Obama. America's a very, very center-to-center right country, and Obama was able to get a lot of people on his side. And if it were Trump versus Obama, I'm pretty sure Obama would win.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Eric, he doesn't think much of.
Obama had the highest approval rating of president since Reagan. He would have won. Yeah.
Of President Obama as a political scientist. So the president-elect took to his Twitter handle to say this. President Obama said that he thinks he would have won against me. He should say that, but I say no way. Jobs leaving, ISIS, O'Care, etc.
Anyone who shits on Obamacare, and I understand that, like, I think we should have socialized health care. I think we should just have public health care for everyone. But if we're talking about someone like Trump or a Republican who's like, Obamacare is bad, and their solution is literally like, just let the free market solve it, I want to laugh in their face. I want to punch them in the face in Minecraft a little bit to be like, really? People are dying because they can't afford insulin, and you think that it's okay for you to say, like, oh, Obamacare bad? You're the worst. When they shit on it from the right, it's so embarrassing. Yep.
And the president-elect is also now turning part of President Obama's famous slogan about hope and change against him to make a comment about the country he's about to inherit. So in another tweet, Mr. Trump says this: the world was gloomy before I won. There was no hope. Now the market is up nearly 10%.
It's so weird that they're calling them Mr. Obama and Mr. Trump. Like generally you say President Obama, President Trump. It's very strange.
And Christmas spending is over $1 trillion. The statements from the outgoing president and the incoming president show that their relationship has really evolved or devolved, because even though the two targeted each other on the campaign trail for months, 2 days after the election they had that friendly Oval Office meeting where President Obama promised to help make the transition to White House life as easy as possible.
That happens, like, with every president, although I do wonder if Joe Biden wins, how that's gonna go between Trump and him, because Trump is such a man baby. Like, again, Obama is like a classy guy, even if you disagree with his politics and how center he is, but like, he's a respectable politician in the sense that he respects the office and he understands that he needs to be becoming of it. So, like, regardless of how much he probably hates Donald Trump, he's gonna be respectable and understand that, like, hey, he won the election, and peaceable, like, exchanges of power are, like, one of the best things about the United States. Can you imagine how much of a child Donald Trump is going to be if Biden wins? It's going to be hilarious.
For the Trumps, the two men then began regularly talking on the phone, but something changed, because a few days ago, as Trump...
Andrew Dickerson with a bit. That must have been the hardest moment of Trump's life, having to be respectful to a black person. True.
Continued to get a lot more attention than President Obama for moves that he was making. The Obama administration's Deputy National Security Advisor, Ben Rhodes, said there's just one president at a time. And now President Obama is suggesting he thinks that one president at a time should be him for another 4 years.
Sounding the alarm that this may not be a peaceful transition of power. Why do you say that?
Well, I've said that again.
If he does win.
If he does
not win.
Right. Because Donald Trump believes that he should be the ruler, the dictator of the United States of America. He actually is looking to change the Constitution. When Donald Trump jokes about 12 more years, as you'll see that in my upcoming podcast called Mea Culpa. I talk about that.
Yeah, I really want to watch Michael Cohen's shitty podcast. Oh, this country.
He's not joking. Donald Trump doesn't have a sense of humor. So I want you to understand when he says 12 more years, if he wins, he's going to automatically, day number one, start thinking how he can change the Constitution for a third term and then a fourth term, like what he said to President Xi and like he said to so many other people. It's why he admires the Kim Jong-uns of the world.
So there's a lot of predictive programming there, right? Now think about it. The person
Trump is trolling? Trump isn't smart enough to troll anyone. He's just a narcissist. He's not trolling.
who comes in to save the day is going to come in and bring in peace, love, unity, one world. But before they can get to that, they need the person who's going to destroy everything. So hypothetically, what this could mean, I'm not saying this is going to happen. When I do some of these videos and I talk about this stuff, I'm talking about what I see. It's not a prediction. I'm not a prophet. Okay, this is me looking at news stories and patterns and thinking how something could play out. If Trump wins again via the selection, because it's a selection process. These people are chosen ahead of time.
No, they're not. The idea that, like, the president is chosen by some secret cabal is complete BS. My God. The American electoral system has a lot of problems, and it's under attack by people in this country because they're closing polling locations and taking people off the voter rolls and all sorts of ridiculous stuff. But the president is not chosen, like, prior to the election.
Nothing fits into what they want to do better than having Trump remain for 4 more years. If Trump was to change the Constitution, number one, it would cause more...
Trump cannot change the Constitution unilaterally. The president does not have that power. Like, he just doesn't. You need to either have a constitutional convention or have, like, a 2/3 majority vote in order to change the Constitution in Congress. You cannot just do it as the president.
Chaos amongst citizens, the left versus the right, which is really what it's about. The civil divide between the left and the right, between races, between genders, okay, all to bring about a one world government. If he was to do that, it is highly likely that the person who steps in to run against him for a potential third term, if this happens, would likely be Barack Obama. Nobody else would make more perfect sense, unless you're going to tell me it's like...
I very much doubt Obama wants to come back and be president again, even if it became legal. Like, the dude... the dude was probably exhausted dealing with all the stuff that he had to in the 8 years he was president. No way he wants to step in and get back into that shit show.
Dwayne Johnson or something else that they're hinting at. Nothing would make more sense because we've seen these people coming and going like Biden and Hillary. They don't make sense like Barack Obama does. People have been clamoring for him since the election. We've seen Saturday Night Live. We've seen all these shows that are begging for Obama, wishing Obama was still president. What the world would be like if Obama...
Cascadian 93, he also had to leave office to cash in on his corporate donors. Okay, we get it. You hate Obama. We get it, guys.
Had a third term. There is a ton of predictive programming behind this stuff, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. It's just, as they say, food for thought, whatever that even means. But it's something to keep in the back of your mind. Because everyone's obviously focused in on the election. I know.
Daddy Tsume, W is back. Oh, God. That's the worst timeline. Tucker White 94, seriously, by the end of his presidency, Obama was looking more like the Crypt Keeper. Yeah, everyone ages from the presidency pretty badly.
A lot of people who listen still believe that this is a republic. That's fine. It's not.
It is. I mean, you don't have to like how it's run, but we live in a republic. We live in a democratic republic.
Not a republic. I could be wrong, but I would bet anything pretty much on this not being a republic.
I bet you deleting your channel. If this is a republic, then you delete your channel, A Call for an Uprising. Just Google it and find out that the U.S. is in fact a constitutional republic. And then delete your channel, please.
Again, this is a science experiment. This is a psychological operation.
A science experiment? You can't just use words when you don't know what they mean. Cascadian 93, just because one is bad doesn't make the other good. We can criticize both. I'm not saying you can't, but like, come on, we get it. I don't like Obama either. I think he's a centrist. But, like, to compare him to, like, he's just not. He's not the worst. He's the best president I've had in my lifetime. I'm not saying that makes him perfect, but, like, no president is perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. If you're gonna wait your whole life, like, for some perfect candidate that's gonna, like, oh, they're gonna make my dreams come true and they're not gonna do anything I disagree with, you're out of your mind and you're never gonna find that candidate. Like, Obama was a lot of things, but he was respectable in the office of president. I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing that out without being like, oh, but he did the drones. Yeah, we're America. America's awful. Welcome. Like, what do you want me to say about it? Tucker White 94, my favorite conspiracy is the one about Trump being a puppet of Obama's shadow government. Daddy Sume, bring back Bill. Oh, no, thank you. Yikes.
Operation being run on the citizens in this country into thinking this is a republic where we have power, we control and run the government. They work for us. It's a total joke, anyone who believes that. Let's be real. They work for us.
Bernie seems perfect to you? Well, yeah, he's never been president. He never had a chance to disappoint you. Do you think that, and again, I voted for Bernie. So here, if we're going to talk about, like, criticizing, Bernie would have gotten nothing done. Congress wouldn't have let him do a single thing because, as it turns out, when you're not a fascist, the president doesn't have a whole lot of power. He would have gotten nothing done, and everyone would have been like, I had so much faith in Bernie. What happened? Oh, electing one person that you like to a high power in the government doesn't do anything? I'm shocked. Jimmy Carter could do 4 more years. That's true. I guess he technically could.
They have us all imprisoned in our homes right now and forcing us to wear masks if we go outside. So we can't.
Yeah, because there's a pandemic, you idiot.
Can't even breathe. That's how ridiculous this has gotten. But think about how perfect sense that would make. Because then it would line up, and then I wouldn't be surprised even in the slightest if
so
Obama
could Lyndon
wasn't
Johnson.
possibly the Antichrist.
Yes, he
the
could.
person who comes
if he was
again
alive
and brings peace and one and unity, that person is likely to be the Antichrist. Now, obviously, I don't know. This hasn't been revealed.
No president has been the Antichrist. Do you know how I know that? Because the Antichrist doesn't exist and never will.
To me, I feel like you'll know, all true Christians will know when this actually happens. I know.
Weird that a bunch of Christians have been claiming different people are the Antichrist for the last century, since all true Christians will know when the real one shows up. Stephen J. Neptune, man, I love Patton Oswalt's bit about how you will never get a perfect president. With Obama, he was excited for science to thrive in America, but there were also drone strikes. I haven't seen that bit. Sounds about right, though.
I know people want to speculate and they want to guess. That's perfectly fine by me, but I'm not going to sit here and say 100%
William Henry Harrison didn't even get his first 4 weeks.
That's
That's his own fault. Wear a coat to your inauguration.
I didn't have a dream. Again, I'm not a prophet.
Yes, I know that's a pop cultural myth, and he would have gotten sick and died. I know.
I'm just a guy who watches and tries to read between the lines. So what I see potentially happening for people to keep their eye on is exactly what Trump...
It was JFK, but the goodly church saved us. And Shylock with 5 bits. How's everyone doing? What are we up to? We're doing Q conspiracies and stuff.
Has been hinting at the first term wasn't fair. He didn't get treated fairly.
Zombie Lyndon Johnson on the ticket.
Say, look, I'm gonna extend this to a 3rd or 4th term. The liberals are incompetent. They're destroying America. You know, all this stuff about the economy's never been better.
That was just about the only thing that would probably trigger an actual second civil war in America, is if Donald Trump tried to say, like, I'm doing a 3rd term. Like, that would immediately trigger a constitutional crisis, the likes of which the United States has never seen before. It would be awful.
Right, so the right will buy into it. The right will be on board and say, yeah, because we don't want to get one of these, you know, Biden-type people, these creeps in, or Hillary in.
Imagine, like, thinking Donald Trump isn't a creep. Really. The admitted sexual assailant. Not a creep at all.
But once he does that, if he does it, it opens the door for someone like Obama to return and to be the hero that these people cry out for. to save the world, even though in reality only Jesus can save the world. Or he
Oh God, human beings are so frustrating and I hate them. I hate people so much.
did save the world. They're dying for our sins.
There's nothing
But
funny
these
about
people
the
will
tools
actually
of
believe
capitalism.
this entire charade that's been going on. These people believe that it's actually real, from the C-19 to the all these funded protests and riots.
I can save this for another
to the
week, but I can't
psychological
watch this
warfare we
week.
see on the news, the hatred between whites and blacks and everything else.
I did watch this
is
already,
all
actually.
planned.
It is
Again,
good.
That's why I put up the video a couple
There's
days
nothing
ago
funny
about
about the
psychological
tools of
operations in
capitalism.
the military. Not a lot of people watch the video. You should watch the video.
Jimmy Carter could save us with his pocket peanuts.
Because it's important to know that this has been an attack on America, on American citizens, on our minds for a long, long time. And that's really what it's about. So that, to me, is something that could potentially play out. Again, we're a long ways from that. Biden could easily be the one they select. To me, it wouldn't make sense to have Biden be the one they select because they don't want restored order yet. The person who restores the order.
Wouldn't it be so comforting to believe, like these people believe, that there's some like central organizational structure to the world and it isn't just a bunch of people working in
There's
their
nothing
own
funny about the
interests
tools of
against each
capitalism.
other? Wouldn't that be nice to believe that someone's in a room somewhere being like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen this month, when really it's just all chaos and things happening? I get the comfort factor, it's just not, you know, bared out by the evidence. Tucker White 94, man, this guy is so charismatic and not causing me to drone off. Do I detect sarcasm?
Is likely to be the one, the chosen Antichrist or the born Antichrist. I shouldn't say chosen, the born Antichrist. It's not going to be, just some random person that didn't just create all this chaos just to sweep it under the rug. There's too much stuff still going on with the outbreak and everything else. There's too much stuff, and it's only going to get worse. And if Trump does return, that'll make it worse. And then just imagine if he does change the Constitution for a third term.
He can't do that. Does this person even understand how the Constitution and how constitutional amendments work? Does he think the president can just be like, I'm doing an executive order to change the Constitution? That's not how that works.
People go crazy, and then suddenly you hear Obama say, I'm throwing my hat back in the ring to save the country. Oh, I could just hear people screaming at the rooftops, thrilled that Obama could be back.
Anyone who would do that is an idiot. Anyone who would cheer for the ending of term limits, regardless of who the person is they're talking about, is an absolute idiot.
Because
it's not happening.
They don't even realize that they're just zombies under mind control. It's like pro wrestling. That's what it is.
Andrew Dickerson with 5 bits. Realistically speaking, though, who would stop Trump from taking a third term or not accepting his loss? No branch of the government is free enough of GOP corruption that they could possibly keep him from doing whatever he wants. They haven't stopped him from breaking the law so far, and they're not going to do anything about the future. That's a completely different story. Saying that you're ending term limits and effectively becoming the dictator of the United States is a completely different thing, and many of the states in the United States would immediately just decide not to be a part of it anymore, and you would immediately have a civil war. Like, I understand, and I understand what you're saying. I get it. Trump has gotten away with way too much, and that sort of highlights problems that we have in our systems where the checks and balances aren't performing their duties. But nonetheless, like, that's a whole different ball game if he starts being like, I am unilaterally changing the Constitution. Not gonna happen. People would not let that happen because it would go against their own interests. Tucker White 94. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump tried to executive order away an amendment. Yeah, it's not happening.
There's a feud between Trump and Obama. Oh, the birth certificate. He's not really an American citizen. They still beef all the time, talk crap about each other. Back and forth. That's all you hear about. It's like they're setting up a WrestleMania match. That's how ridiculous it is. And wouldn't that be funny if that was how it came down? Well, it wouldn't be funny. It would just seem so obvious at that point. But people will think it's just the way the wind blew because, again, they think the citizens control this country when they don't. I want to remind everyone, please check out my website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't.
I hate that guy. Anyway,
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.